we got so many characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and last year we saw one of the most epic reworks this game has ever seen in Darth Vader. We need more, fam. There's a lot of useless characters out there, and today I'm giving you 15 of them that desperately need a rework. Go ahead and punch it, Chewie. All right, Cubs fam, like I said, today we are talking about characters that need to be reworked so badly in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I put this list together and there were so many characters. We had to filter characters out of the list because there's just a lot of characters in here that need to get reworked. So let's get started right away with my girl, Phasma. Phasma needs to be reworked, guys. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I'd like to see a rework for Phasma. Number one, CG has forced us to take her to Gear 13 if you want to get SLKR. And so a lot of people are just kind of maybe using her on a back wall defense for Grand Arena, but she's not that difficult to beat. Her kit is basically a day one kit, if I remember right. It would be very nice to see some touch up for Phasma to make that back wall GAC defense first order team just a little more viable. I saw suggestions of maybe make Victory March a healing ability. There's a lot of different things you could do with Phasma to make her good, but thus far she's being just as respected in this game as she is in the movies, which is no respect whatsoever. All right, Princess Leia. This is an iconic character, guys. Princess Leia coming in at number 2 on the list. No particular order on this list, but another character that we've been asked to farm to Gear 13, and she's just not good. I mean, even at Gear 13 Relics, I've been seeing her basic on a crit for 5,000 damage on her basic, and then she usually only taps twice, maybe. I do remember when they first touched her up, they said that they wanted her to triple tap more often, and yeah, it still feels like she just almost never does the triple tap. We need to see, I mean, at least more damage out of Leia. I actually really like her rework that they did on her. I just think that the biggest issue with Leia is she should be a big damage dealer, and she doesn't deal any damage. And so the biggest thing I'd love to see them do with her is touch up her damage. All right, Qui-Gon Jinn. We want to see an awesome OP Qui-Gon Jinn in this game again. And I'm going to say Qui-Gon Jinn represents all of the Jedi. No pun intended on that one. But the Galactic Republic Jedi in general need a rework. And so Qui-Gon Jinn is the only Galactic Republic Jedi from the original game. The OG Galactic Republic Jedi we have in this game that I'm including on this list. So assume this also means characters like Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, etc. We want to see all of those guys reworked along with Qui-Gon Jinn. And I think this is a year that we could finally see a real legitimate Galactic Republic Jedi rework. And so let's see that CG. Darth Maul on the list. Do I need to say anything else about Darth Maul? This is one of the top characters in all of Star Wars lore in terms of how much fans love this guy. And he's not that usable in the game. This is a slam dunk rework. It's a slam dunk. It would be very, very well received by the community on a similar level to Darth Vader. If there's anybody in this game that deserves the kind of attention like Darth Vader got, I feel like Darth Maul would be pretty high on that list. Princess Leia might be up there too for me as well. So Darth Maul. Next up, Darth Sidious, kind of in a similar league as Darth Maul. Another character that you're being asked to farm if you want to get Sith Eternal. And he's the Senate, guys. He's the Senate. He's got an amazing AoE that lands those exposes, but it just doesn't do that much damage. He's very squishy. We need the Darth Sidious that we see in the assault battle with Night Sisters. That's what we need to see. That would be great. All right, Wicket. Who does not want to see Ewoks great again? Ewoks were really good at one point in this game. I think a lot of people, even back then, didn't maybe appreciate just how good the Ewoks were at that point, but they've really fallen on, bad times right now, and I don't think anybody's finding really valuable use for Ewoks. We did a big event for Ewoks. We brought in Wicket. We've got a lot of Ewoks in the game. Wicket, I think, is the character I'd like to see reworked the most, but I'd really like a full faction pass on Ewoks, make them a viable Grand Arena option for us. All right, next up, Fulcrum Ahsoka. Do I need to say anything else about her? Is there anything that needs to be said? One of the biggest problems with Fulcrum is, number one, damage output. Number two, the lack of good tagging. She should work with the Phoenix Squad. At least work with the Phoenix Squad. Give her a Phoenix Squad tag, ramp up her damage. I think that's all you really need to do to touch Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano up. All right. Next up, Imperial Probe Droid. I know you guys love this character, and this used to be one of the go-to get-out-of-jail-free cards that you use in Grand Arena. You got a character that's plugging you up. You can go and throw Imperial Probe Droid in there and blow them up. That doesn't work for a lot of characters in this game now because of Gear 13, because the self-destruct deals massive damage, which is only 99,999 damage. That needs to be touched up at a minimum. You could rework Imperial Probe Droid just by reworking what massive damage means in the game. That would handle it as well. So this is a character very passionate about this. Needs to be touched up or reworked. Although Imperial Probe Droid's kit otherwise very good and probably one of the more underrated characters in the game. I just think we need to rework on that, iterate on that self-destruct mechanic. Royal Guard. Now, I know it may seem like we're going through a lot of Sith Eternal Emperor Rex, and maybe we are, but this is the armed guard for the Senate, for Palpatine, for the big wig in the Skywalker trilogy, and this used to be one of the best tanks in the game, and Royal Guard hasn't had a touch-up in a very long time. In fact, I don't remember if Royal Guard ever has had a rework. I feel like maybe once, but I'm not remembering exactly when it was. This should be one of the better tanks in the game. I think there's a lot you could do to ramp up Royal Guard's tank viability. One thing I think would be really cool to do with Royal Guard is make Royal Guard a lot more tanky and give Royal Guard some direct synergy with Palpatine, where if Royal Guard is present, you can't attack Palpatine. Something like that, some kind of like backwards Mon Mothma requirement where you have to take out Royal Guard in order to go for Palpatine would be really, really cool. All right. Next up, Director Krennic. More Sith Eternal. Look, Director Krennic, he just doesn't have very much use in this game. And so I'd really like to see this Director Krennic with Death Trooper. I don't have Death Trooper on this list, but their synergy is great. I think that you've got a lot of opportunity to build a very viable additional Empire team that is kind of missed right now. Nobody's really using Director Krennic's leader ability. There's potential here. He's definitely a great character, but somebody who's just not getting used in this game. And again, a character that is being put on our farming priority list for us. Savage Opress, one of the favorite Sith characters from the Clone Wars for me. Really like this guy, and he used to be really good in this game. His massive damage was great. Again, kind of like Imperial Probe Droid. Maybe we need to rework what massive damage means, or maybe we need to come up with another way for Overpower to work so it actually is meaningful in this game right now. His Zeta ability used to be a lot more viable. There's a lot more ways to get around it right now, and so I just love to see a little added viability for Savage Opress. Not very many people are finding really meaningful use for him at this time. And then we got Kiarimundi. This is the newest character, I think, on our list that is a very difficult character to get. And I do understand that there's some niche uses for Kiarimundi, but to me, this character is not nearly on the level that Wat Tambor is at. And he's the same equivalent character for, obviously, the light side version of GOTB versus dark side. Why is their use not similar? This guy needs to be so much more useful than he currently is in the game. And I'm recording this live on Twitch right now, and I do see he's got some viability in those Jedi Master Luke teams, and I do think that's great. I'm not saying he's completely unuseful right now, but he's just not on the same level as Wat Tambor. I'd really like to see him get a touch-up and find more use for Kiarimundi down the line. All right, Cody on the list next. I really want to see a 212th faction come into the game, be another clone team. I'd love to see Cody get some really, really great, interesting touch-ups. Cody's a significant clone, guys, in the lore. He's the clone who literally tried to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a lot to this guy and a lot of history there that needs to be expounded on in the game. Cody, needs a rework. All right, Gar Saxon next on the list. I am confused. I'm continually confused by this character and his corresponding Imperial Super Commando. Why? He was never good. He's never been good. There's never been that viable of a use for Gar Saxon. Why? Like, why is this? Let's touch this guy up. I would love to see this probably come with maybe a Mandalorian faction pass, where they give us a Mandalorian faction and then maybe give us some other Mandalorian characters that we can build some awesome Mandalorian squads with. All right, Visas Mar is on the list as well. Look, probably the biggest problem with Visas Mar is that she literally doesn't have a tag. She's light side, she's healer, that's it. Why? That benefits nothing. Why does she exist? But her kit is really cool. All of the bonus attacks that she has for Sith, the revive. There's so many things in here that I think you could really, really expound on. But she's just sitting there in everybody's roster. Almost nobody is getting use out of Visas Mar. So let's address this. Let's at least give her a tag, and then I think I'd love to see her maybe get some Old Republic synergy, maybe some Jedi synergy, even though I know she's kind of not with the Jedi. She's not with the Sith. I'd love to see her working somewhere in this game, have some kind of meaningful use in this game right now. All right, that does it for the list. Top 15 characters that need a rework. Jedi Master Luke is not on the list, but I'll show you guys the full list right here. So Phasma, Leia, Qui-Gon Jinn, which encompasses all of the Galactic Republic Jedi, including Mace Windu, don't worry. Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, Wicket, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, Imperial Probe Droid, Royal Guard, Director Critic, Savage Opress, Kiarimundi, Cody, Gar Saxon, and Visas Mar. Let me know what you guys think about this list down in the comments below. Which characters do you want to see reworked? I would love to hear from you. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,